But this should be a really pleasant drive up here on Rabbit Ears today. I think the roads are in pretty damn good shape. There could be some spots up here where there's some ice on the roads. That wouldn't surprise me, but this snow fell last week. So it's been sanded at least every day, you know. It's going to be good. I don't have any concern about having my four-wheel drive today. Although I'm thinking about going through Rand and the dirt road that I take will probably be ice covered. But I do have my good tires on, and I think that more than compensates for not having four-wheel drive. So we'll see. Yeah, I like to go up this pass about a little bit faster than the speed limit because it suits my gearing really well, but not much faster than anyone else goes on it. I mean, yeah, seems to work pretty good. Now, if the road does get really slippery, I'll slow down. I'm not gonna be too crazy. Anyway, it's really beautiful today. It's just one of those beautiful winter days that it's nice to get the blue sky winter days. You know, they're great for traveling. They're great for if you're out skiing. You know, it's usually colder, but that's really a plus. If you ski, you really want the conditions to be cold. You don't want them to be gooey. You know, you don't want them to be around hovering between, you know, freezing and thawing. That's like the worst place for a temperature when you're skiing, because the snow sticks to your skis when you go through, you know, watery snow and icy snow. Same with shoveling snow. It'll stick to your, you know, it doesn't care. You know, water and ice they just have a bit of a different properties, and so you kind of have to, you know. Well, what I do is I spray Johnson's wax on my snow shovel when the conditions are that way. And that helps pretty good, but it won't last. That coating will come off eventually, and you need to do it again. So you know, but whatever, I mean. Anyway, the thing around here locally is that Steamboat, you know, they want snow for their ski hill, but they make their own snow, so they don't have to worry as much about it as they used to. All the big ski areas are that way. You know, any ski area that can make their own snow all they really need then is water and electricity, by the way, lots of it, and cold temperatures, to keep the snow they make cold. But the people in the rural areas and people in other states, like the people that are concerned with water, they always watch to see what the snowpack is looking like. So that's always the big talk around here. What's the snowpack? What's the snowpack look like? What's it up there, And we've got a lot of snow up high. It started snowing pretty early. It was snowing in September up in the mountains and sticking. So we've been accumulating snow for 3 months, 4 months already. Up in the high mountains, in Wyoming and in Colorado. The areas that I travel that I can actually vouch for are those areas. But it's really a pleasant thing to come up on rabbit ears and not have to, be blinded and be in clouds of snow and all that. So it's kind of nice, and it's a different thing. I didn't get a lot of this kind of driving. Looks like it could be icy here. I didn't get a lot of this kind of driving last year. Last year was pretty much hardcore snowstorm. No matter what direction I went. No, anyway. Hey, everyone's moving good. I've got a lot of people behind me. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not slouching by any means, speed wise. And the people that are passing me, they are, well, let's just say they're doing pretty good too. But I'm getting up the hill extremely well for this little car. I'm not running any of the front end gear, any of the drive shaft, the differential, or the CB joints. Everything is out. So it's a lot of, I guess you would call it a parasitic loss, when you're not really using it. That is pretty much gone, other than the weight of all the components, which would probably be about 85 or 90 pounds, I think. Drive shaft, the differential, and the CB joints, they're probably about 90 pounds. See if I can get a one thing I was going to do before I left, I was going to turn my steering full left and full right, just to see if maybe I couldn't. I'll do that at some point. Well, and here we are in typical Highway 40 conditions. People going too slow. This guy kind of screwed me over. Really doing anything. Really doing anything from now. That was not nice of him. Clean my window. I forget, I got to clean your side too. Oh yeah, your side is pretty bad too. That isn't too bad. Still live with that. Dang it. Could have gone right here. Oh well. I'm really not in that big of a rush. You know, I am a bit impatient. This guy's not even hitting the speed limit. And I could have gone around him, but for the rude oncoming traffic. Now you can probably tell this is where the snow machines are. They go all over the place over on this side of Rabbit Ears. It's actually pretty cool the way it's set up. On the ski hill side, they have cross-country skiing, you know, back a few miles, cross-country trails. And over here, you have your snow machine trails. And that's kind of a good thing to keep them separate, because if you're in a snow machine, you can really move. I mean, you can go fast. So you'd be a pretty big danger to people on skis, you know, people, you know, plodding along on their cross-country skis. Because a good snowmobile, you know, you can do highway speeds with it if that's what you want to do. May not be advisable, but you can do it. I have found once you get to this side of, oh yeah, there's a lot of snow, but up in the high mountains, up there, the resolution is probably not good enough for you to see it, but I can tell there's a lot, thick layer of snow up there on the top of those mountains. And what we're looking at is basically the rest of Rabbit Ears Range over between here and Rand. That's probably a good way to put it. We're looking east. And the Rabbit Ears Range runs about another 40 miles to the east from here. Maybe even a little bit more. And then that range sort of dies down basically where the Colorado River drops through, and on the other side of that valley is Rocky Mountain National Park. And I talk about this all the time because I like to try to orient you to where I'm going, if that's possible, you know, if I can figure out a way to do it. it's highly likely that the stuff I'm washing up my windshield is the antifreeze that's on the road. It's not from my engine. It's not from my power steering. I didn't have this issue from Greg Steamboat. I didn't have this issue on dry roads. So this is a antifreeze issue. But even though I may be in traffic, we're still doing pretty good time. I'm not unhappy. About the speed that we're going. We're actually doing pretty good. So now the mountain that we just saw a little glimpse of, I don't know if you can catch it. It reminds me of a Hershey's Kiss. I hate to say Hershey's, but a chocolate kiss. You know, the little triangular shape. It's hiding behind the trees right now. I can't think of the actual name of that mountain. What happened here? I thought somebody was turning. Boy, they really slowed down. And there we go. There's another shot of, well, some more of the rabbit ears range. We're kind of down low. We can't see the highest of the highest peaks. There's quite a bit of snow up here. I'll bet there's a lot of snow, a lot more than I thought. But I haven't been up on this road very much in December because of this car not having four-wheel drive that I can, run. I've got it, I just can't run at highway speeds. Still have that issue. My latest issue was my drive shaft, I think, could be my problem at this point. So I ordered one, got it off eBay, and the seller demanded a VIN number so that they would make sure they sent me the right drive shaft, and I appreciate that. So I got it, but before I undid my drive shaft, I set the new drive shaft up beside the old one just to make sure everything was good, and the drive shaft that they sent me is 1 3/4 inches short. so that I wanted to get the four-wheel drive working today, but it was not meant to be. However, the roads are so nice, I don't see it as a problem. We're going to pass this person on this road unless they get up to speed. Now, if you remember, this road last year was quite the road. I'm just going to get around these guys. There you go. That's what I want. Yeah, this guy's going to go around. That's funny. I'm actually doing pretty damn good. But this guy wanted around me. It's fine with me. The people behind me were going slower. They were going 5 miles an hour slower on Rapiders than they should have been. But when I went around them, I was going 85 to get around them. So they have upped their speed a little bit, which is good, but I don't know, we'll see. They're following me now. That's not good. It really annoys me. I guess what I'm saying is that they were doing a slower speed. I knew they were doing a slower speed when they could be doing a higher speed, a legal higher speed. They didn't care about that. Now that they don't have anyone around them and I'm doing a higher speed, they're speeding up to follow me. That bothers me because do your own fucking speed. Don't get on my ass. Especially if you've established to me, right, going behind you, that you're not wanting to even go the speed limit. So now I'm ranting. I'm watching them in the mirror. They are finally slowing down. So I think it might have been the magnetic effect, which does happen. So there's a lot of snow up here, y'all. These are pretty steep bar ditches. There's a lot of snow in these bar ditches, so. And my windows stayed clear. So that's all extremely good. Thinking about it, there was rarely a time last year when it wasn't cloudy and snowing on this road. So I don't know if I've ever got it in the winter, and we are in the winter now, I don't know if I've ever gotten it on a clear, a nice blue sky day. This might be a first. I am loving the roads. The roads are beautiful. So that is great. I think I'll run this video to Rand. That seems like a good, like I say it a lot. I like to start a video in a recognizable spot and end it in a recognizable spot. Something that you can point to on a map. Having said that, this morning I started a few miles west of Steamboat because I liked the view over to the ski hill. That was a nice view. So, anyway. This little valley goes between 9,000 and about 8,500 feet, I think, by the time we get out of it. So it's pretty high up. Certainly a high altitude North Park feature. And we are in North Park right now, on the southern edges of North Park. That's weird. See any on my back window? I think I'm okay. I'm just concerned about the engine. You know, I don't want it. I don't want to strand myself somewhere when I don't actually have to. I can turn around anytime. I just saw Spicer Peak come into view. Little volcanic nipple, really, right up there, basically in front of us. It's disappearing. Oh, there it goes. The nipple is hidden. I'm hearing something slapping. I think it's in here. Now what's cool is we're looking north at the Snowy Range right now. So that's about 80 miles to the horizon up there, and that's the Snowy Range in Wyoming. That road is closed right now. You can still drive up to the summit. Well, maybe not. I think you can drive up to a parking area near the summit. There's a ski hill up there, and I think you could do backcountry skiing and you know, things like that. If you want to go do that cold camping stuff, I think that's all available up there. It's really been one ordeal to try to get this car back in working order. This vibration that is in my front has driven me crazy. I've replaced everything at one point, except the drive shaft. I did replace the U-joints on the drive shaft, but I had an issue when I was putting the U-joints in the drive shaft, and so I had to do some things that I did not want to do to put it back together, because I couldn't get a part at the time to replace a part that I had damaged. You know, so anyway, I did what I could to put it back together, but I think that I may have unintentionally created the vibration that I've been fighting ever since, that I've been blaming on everything else, or that I've been suspicious of. Really not blaming on, but yeah, suspicious of would be the best way to put it. Oh, this is lovely, y'all. I love it. It's beautiful snow, but without the really horrible, icy, you know, not being able to see. stuff that is common for up here this time of year. I mean, the wind has actually been pretty good for the last few days too, so it's obvious the road looks good. And there's the forest range, the state forest range up there, looking beautiful like it always does. Over there on the right. The high mountains are closer to the right. You probably can't see all of them. They drop down in altitude to about 9,000 to 10,000 feet. Like that ridge that is in front of us. And that ridge goes all the way, I mean, with some valleys in it, some little crossings in it, but it goes all the way to I-80. It's the state forest range here, then it becomes the Medicine Bow Range up in Wyoming, and like I said, it goes all the way up to just about I-80. So, pretty big long stretch of mountain there. We're not going that way today, but I'd like to come back this way tomorrow. And judging from the way the roads look, I don't think it's going to be any issue. I mean, this is great. We have a little ice. That was probably the most ice I've seen on this road. When the wind blows, when we get into one of those periods where the wind is blowing a lot, that will coat the roads with ice on days like today, because the wind will pick the snow up. The sun will heat the road, and the wind blows the snow over the road. The snow will stick to the road, turn into water, and then it will start grabbing snow. Then it will freeze, and it will just build up and accumulate, and you'll have this really crusty, snowy road. I've basically just described Highway 125 in the winter. That's what happens on Highway 125. Which is where we're heading to next. We're going to turn off up here very shortly. 1.2 miles, yeah. We'll turn onto County Road 28. I believe it's 28. So what I'm saying though is the snow here stuck on the road probably got blown on the road when the storm was moving out, when it was still warm, and then, freezing, thawing, or whatever. As the snow was blowing, it was accumulating this snow. That's normal for North Park. North Park is just notoriously rough. Look at him. One of my videos last year, I was slowing down for this spot, but it was black ice, or it was not black ice, it was just ice. The road was snow covered like it is, but all the way across. And it certainly, I slid right past this spot and had to turn around. I left it in the video. I thought it was kind of funny. I am a couple miles outside of Rand this morning, probably about 3 or 4 minutes before we get into Rand. We are heading south on Highway 125, Colorado State Highway 125. I kind of think this is going to be the worst road that I'm going to have to be on. I think it will probably even be worse than the Willow Creek Pass Road, but we're fixing to find out. This road gets bad this way just because of the wind blowing across it. When the sun comes out like it's been the last few days and the wind kicks up, it picks up snow. The snow sticks on the road and accumulates on the road as water, and then as slush as things cool down, and then finally as ice. And so this road, even in between storms, will continue to get bad if we have wind and there's any loose snow around, and we've got plenty of that. We're looking up at Parkview Mountain, a little bit over to the right. And we come up around Parkview Mountain, we come up around on the left side of it, just kind of working right underneath the top of it. I mean, when we get up to the top, we're probably a couple of miles away from that peak that we're looking at there, that Little Plenty Peak. That we're not far away at all from the summit. The pass, I think, is it 9,800 feet? And right now, just for reference, we're a little bit over 8,000 feet here. We're like about 8,300 feet here in Rand. I guess I need to slow down. All right.